Introduced each other and welcome, and I guess we start with the review and approval of the 2016 minutes, which we were a little bit, what do we decide we want to do with all these first and the motions and seconds?
I don't know, I haven't seen the minutes.
Well, this is the one you did.
Okay, was it
that
completed?
We didn't. No, it's not completed. So should we?
Well, they shouldn't be approved then.
Proven.
We need to just keep working on them.
Keep working on them? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can't approve the partial minutes.
Okay. So then next is treasurer's report.
Okay, I'm not really giving a report because the fiscal year is synchronized with the calendar year. A lot of discussion went on that. So basically we have 5,000 in our checking account that we're using for operational purposes, and I have moved, we had 4,000 in a savings account, but I moved another 2,000 over into that account. What we're doing with that account is saving it up for catastrophes, like asphalt replacement, roof replacement, things like that.
I think it started off as a well.
Yeah, it
fund,
started out as a
Alright.
well fund.
So this was a CD that was for the well.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm
And,
sorry, I'm missing a number
so
here, Mark. So it was 4,000, and
Yes.
you added 2,000 to it. So
Yes,
6,000.
So now it's 6,000.
Since your wife Joan has volunteered to do the restroom, that gave us extra money. And then I put the remainder of the facility manager's pay for the rest of the year that was budgeted over into the savings account.
So
I did that because it was expressed several years ago that we should try and build that savings up to around 20,000 or so. Because if we have to have asphalt replaced, it's going to cost 30 to 40,000, and that's going to hurt all of us hard. We started with a well fund of 4,000. I'd gotten a bid from Barnhart Pumps years ago. That's no longer valid. I've gotten new bids from Barnhart for my own personal well lately, and it's running about 5,500. So it's about the same thing for here as what I'm bidding it for my own residence.
what? Just out of curiosity, they think you're gonna have to drill. You think it's gonna need another?
No, what I'm bidding
Just the
for
pump.
is a new pump, wiring, pressure tank, everything except for drilling the well.
As a frame of reference, I had to jump through that hoop on Mountain Property, and I got it down for under 2,500.
Okay,
just
that's
so you
good.
know.
But I have same thing up at Elbert, and I just got a bid from Barnhart, and
Well, this is a pretty shallow. This is only 100 feet, 125 feet. So,
well,
you know.
So
not
is
that-
this just information stuff? I missed
Yes.
it. Okay. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with the well right now, right?
No.
It's okay.
some
the well should have gone out several years ago, but it just keeps on ticking.
Yeah. How old is it now?
I believe it was put in '96,
Okay.
and it went several years without being serviced.
All right. Again, the budget year, the quote you had was how much?
4,000,
4,000. All right.
yeah.
All right.
That was back in about 2005.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, other than that, that's all I've got to report. As you see, I send a bank statement to each one of you, and I send a ledger so that you can decipher it. So, I don't know what else to report to you. Are there questions?
Questions? No? Okay. Well, then we'll move on to the old business. One is the septic covers at Charlie's sea hangar. Do you want to cover that, Mark, for the people?
Why do you need septic covers?
Because what we've done restricts his opening by 20%.
If you put, those septic covers are very, very sturdy. You can drive on the septic covers.
Mhm.
You cannot drive on the septic tank.
Right.
If you replace the covers, you still can't drive on the tank. The tank is a 1,000-foot tank, 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot. The guy that I had service it said that we were very, very lucky that it hasn't been destroyed in the past. You don't drive on the septic tank. That's why I put the stops there, because septic tank's only about a foot underground and the concrete's not thick enough to withstand a truck.
Just, I don't know, is the septic tank at the end of building A?
No.
No, that's the leach
By the
field.
bathroom.
Okay, where is the septic tank?
It's
Up next to the bathroom.
Yeah,
South
where all
of
those
the-
parking stops are.
Okay.
right in front of the door to the C hangar.
D-building.
Yeah, I had those.
Or, yeah, D building.
What happened, to give you some history, is that they put the tanks in, or the tank. They asphalted over it. I've lived off of city sewer systems all my life, so I never knew that you had to pump those things. Well, it went years and years without being serviced. I finally got an education, and David Barrick and I worked together, and we located the tanks, and then I had covers put on. Then we had them pumped out. But that's when I was told that you don't drive on the tanks, you'll crush them, and then it's real expensive.
Say
So-
again where they are.
They're at the end of building C and D,
Charlie.
south
If you're
end.
going into the bathroom, you know the door with the code
Yeah.
outside. If you look just to the left of that, it's right there. There's a couple stops right outside there.
Okay.
Yeah, those concrete parking lots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I told Charlie Lambert that we can't drive on those. That's what I was told. Ever since I told him, he's made a beeline to park on those things.
Going over the parking stops
Yeah.
and parking inside.
Yeah.
Like
I
a
don't know
12-year-old.
why he's trying to destroy our tanks.
Well, he's not trying to destroy
I
the
think-
tanks.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
Charlie said
He's
that he
making
had
a
somebody
point.
else look at it too, and they said that it should be fine.
But
And
why
that-
should we have to? There's plenty of parking space.
Well,
And
I-
not only that,
Well, it's
according
not-
to
it's
the
not only parking
bylaws,
space, though.
we're not supposed to be parking in common area anyway.
Yeah, but I think it's blocking his door. It's right in front.
It's
of
right
his
in front of his
Yeah.
door. It takes up
You can
20% of his
step over
hangar
it.
door.
You can step
Well,
over
if you
it.
need to pull
Not if he's
stuff
driving
out.
something in there.
Yeah.
Well, if he's driving something in there, it shouldn't be driving over it anyway.
You're right, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
The association is hindering 20% of his door. Mark told me one day that he wouldn't let me put heat in my hangar because he would not allow a propane tank in front of my hangar.
It's not me. I could care
The,
less.
we didn't
So-
determine where it goes. It happens to
You're
be
right.
there, and we've been told it needs to be protected. I don't see that there's an issue.
Well, you're getting off track.
No, that is the track. That
The
is
track
exactly
is the septic
track.
covers is old business because Charlie said he
but,
would pay to
but
have.
that's what
Yeah,
we're
I-
discussing. I don't
Why
care
do
what
we
Charlie
need to
would pay
replace the
for.
covers? Those
Well,
covers can be driven over by
he
an
said-
army tank.
No. He said that he had somebody else look at it, and he said in the condition that it's in right now, it would be fine to park on it, it would be fine to drive on it. But
Yes.
he's willing to replace the covers we have with even sturdier covers that will guarantee the tank is protected. And he's willing to take full responsibility for the septic tank if anything
Right.
happens to it.
He's going to put something over the covers, or
Over
over
the
tank,
tank.
rather.
He's
Yes.
going to do something that assures that it's
Yeah.
not going to be damaged. And
If
taking
he's going to
responsibility.
do it at
Yeah.
his expense,
Yeah, and that's what he said at his expense.
Well, originally he
Right.
said at his expense, but then I think in the email you sent me, it appeared that he was asking for $500 less. He said it would cost less than $500 to fix it. His renter all builds hangars and installs septic systems, and he said that it's fine as it is, but they could put these covers for less than $500, and then it would be fine to drive over.
On a
If
adjunct
Charlie,
to that, could we migrate those barriers a little further west to get them away from my door a little bit, like maybe 3 feet?
Well, we
'Cause
need
the
to
tank
Well,
doesn't
just-
Well, it would
Yeah.
take the barriers
It would take the
away
barriers
when it-
away.
Oh, okay.
See and then that gives Charlie his entire hangar door back
Okay.
because that's kind of the problem is the association is hindering him full use of his door by
If-
having the barriers there.
if Charlie is willing to pay for the whole thing,
Okay.
and
and
sign a statement saying that he will be responsible for the welfare of the tanks.
Okay.
Well, he already
And
did,
not
he
only
did send an
that-
email that said
Okay,
that.
but
Okay.
we can write something up like that. That's,
I
I'm sure
also-
he'd be agreeable.
think we should make clear that that does not entitle him to any type of ownership or allow him any say over what happens in that common area.
Okay. Yeah, that's common. That makes sense.
Has anybody looked at what the covenants say about parking on a common area? We're not supposed to park there at all, period.
I thought we went over this last year.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
that
we
was
just
fine
said
to
it was
park parallel to your
parallel
own
to your hanger.
to your own hanger.
One car.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
never
what
heard
seems
the one
to be
car.
the problem?
They're talking about driving things into the hangar.
Yeah.
Because
You know,
everybody else
It's
drives
not
stuff into the
parking, but
hangar.
accessing.
There's other.
Or we drive our car into the hangar. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So, and he can't do that. So he lost the use of his hangar
Right.
if he can't do
His
He's
that.
hangar.
he's got plenty of room to drive into that hangar.
Okay. All right. So do we have a problem though if he takes responsibility to remove those stops?
If not, if he pays for everything, I don't have a problem. I don't
And
know
as
about
long as he
anybody else.
abides by
The one
the
car.
covenants,
Yeah. Okay.
because this is an airport, and quite frankly, I defended Charlie's business because Steve Johnson does build, or did build, airplane hangars. I question that now. I know that he hasn't built anything on this facility for years. I don't know that Charlie's business is in compliance with our regulations,
Okay.
with our covenants.
So
For
back
those of us that are new, we're talking about the hangar to the left of
yeah.
the
The restroom.
bathrooms, and it is an independent
Building.
building its own, and there's no
Mhm.
association started.
No, it's
associated
part of
with
this
it.
association.
It is.
It is part of the
Yes.
association.
Yes.
Yes.
They
But
all,
it is-
all
Share
the building
common area.
But it's a single
Okay.
tenant building.
Well, I understand that, but if there is something hindering him being able to get all the way in his hangar and all the way out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It just
can
happened.
see where he would have a beef with that.
And it just
Yeah.
happened in the
So
last 2 years.
it should
Yeah.
it should be something we're willing to work with him on, not
Eric,
just
there's
come
other
down
things.
on.
He's bringing
Right.
building materials in there that
Oh,
are
no,
quite
maybe.
heavy, and the condo covenants specify that businesses are supposed to be aviation related, and it goes beyond that. When this facility was built, if you go look at the asphalt, instead of a normal 3 or 4 inch asphalt build up there, you've got less than an inch.
So there could be a lot of damage to the stuff underneath.
Yes,
I
exactly.
get
You
you.
crumble it, and then you cause prop damage.
Okay. Well, I don't know when he bought his, and I don't know what he signed as far as when he came in. I'm just saying, we went over that quite a bit about read the covenants and know what you're up against.
Uh-huh.
But I would say, if there's something that the association has put in that is a hindrance to one of the members, we should. I'm not saying we should acquiesce. I'm saying we need to sit down and say, let's come up with a reasonable deal. If it's going to cost a lot of money, it's going to be on you. If it's going to cost a moderate amount of money, we'll talk about, because it's the same thing's going
But
to come
there
with
is
me.
another
I've got a
solution.
I
light
agree.
above my hangar
Yeah.
where the water is pooling and pouring in, and I lost electricity the other day and didn't know it, and I'm on a single circuit on the outside and don't know what that was about. What I'm saying is I can see individuals having individual issues, and this is
Right.
us new into the association just trying to figure out how things
But
are
I've
going to
got a
work.
question. What is wrong with Charlie using his other door?
But that's irrelevant, I don't think. I think if I
He's
think we
got
were,
access.
all right. So, but
Well, if
he's
he's
got
willing to pay for it,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's okay. I just
I mean,
don't think the
He needs to
association.
sign an affidavit of liability, that's the.
Can we
thing.
find
You
out
can't
whether he
be
was
sued.
willing to pay for it up front or
Yeah,
whether it
before-
changed and he wanted
Yeah,
some-
before
Okay.
we move the stops, we'll talk to Charlie. We'll make him sign the liability, right, for the septic system, and then once that's in order, we'll have the stops removed.
Sure.
Okay.
okay. Do we need to vote on that or not?
Is everybody in
Or is
agreement?
that everyone's in agreement?
Okay.
Okay, the next one was the bathroom electrical breakout proposal, and either David or Mark, you want to take that?
David, you should take that because I did not have access, and I believe you got the bid.
Yeah, we ran into a bunch of issues on that. I went for bid. Unfortunately, the bid did not include 2 major code violations that are in place. around a panel, circuit breaker panel, there's a clearance requirement, 30 feet either, 30 inches either side, total around it. May or may not be centered in that 30 inches, and nothing below that. Right now we got that water heater, which is long since expired, so that needs to be removed or relocated. The other option on that is relocate the panel outside. The panel itself is not in violation because it has more than 6 circuits and does not have a cutoff on the box itself. That's code subsequent to its installation. So if we do anything to change that, it's got to be brought up to current code.
No, I don't think a lot of people know what we're actually talking about. So the bathroom, is on David's circuit breaker right now in his hangar, right? So
Meter,
yeah,
Fed off a
meter.
branch.
Actually, let's state this properly because I went through a lot of work to have that changed over. David's hangar is on our account.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, the bathroom and David's hangar are on the same drop, right? And Mark wants the bathroom separated into its own meter. So if for some reason whoever owns that hangar defaults for some reason, the bathroom power doesn't go out. So originally, I think Mark got a quote for like $1,500 to drop a new
$800.
800. Okay,
Yeah,
$800.
that is not.
to put a new post in or whatever it's called.
Here's the deal.
No, but I didn't have access, so the guy couldn't give a accurate estimate. It was based on using existing wiring.
Yeah, which is not
And we can't do
acceptable.
that. So David went back and got a accurate quote,
Which
and-
still wasn't accurate.
which came out to $1,400, and that was with getting a permit.
Yeah.
Permits are mandatory. If an electrician does work without a permit, his
Yeah.
license is gone. And we're liable too because of the insurance. If there was a claim, could be denied because of an absence of
Homeowners that are living in their home can do their own electrical work
however.
without you still have to get a permit, but you don't have to be licensed.
However,
But on any commercial building,
yeah.
you have to have a licensed electrician to do the work, period. We tried to change the LEDs and save us a bunch of money. Somebody turned me in to the electrical department saying that I had changed the lights inside my hangar, trying to cause trouble. The inspector came out, saw the lights in my hangar, saw the electricity in my hangar, thought everything was fine. But then he did see the LED lights on the outside. So he nabbed us for that, and that cost us a couple of $100. We had to get a licensed contractor out. He took a look at them, got a permit, they signed it off, and it was there.
Now, one thing that we looked at a couple of proposals on this, including putting in a new service from Mountain View. They want to charge us $1,000 just to put in a new meter.
Yeah.
That's what you're referring to, wasn't it?
Now,
Okay.
that only gets us the
Yeah.
And then it costs us like $30 a month on top of that, right?
$30 for that,
So-
and
Forever.
additional electricity to get,
Yeah.
or additional money to get that over to the panel for the bathroom.
So yes.
The proposal I had was run a conduit along the north side of my building and drop it down and pick up the panel on the north end of the rear unit there. That'll save us $1,000, and it's a fairly cost-effective solution.
But still, how much is it going to cost total?
I think that's gonna come up around in the 1600 to 2.
So $1,600 plus $30 a month more forever.
Well, no.
No,
$30
not
No,
for
that
that.
one.
Oh, no, that's
the
right.
That
1,000
fees
plus
off,
the
yeah.
$30 forever.
So
So
1600
$1,600 and
$1,600 to
nothing.
separate.
What we're
Or we
doing-
just do prorating.
Yeah, we're leveraging off the fact there's already service into the
Yeah, to the
E
utility.
building.
And what that would do is take the electrical service from one person's responsibility so that if they became insolvent, we wouldn't have everything freeze up, the account closed or freeze up, to a building where there's 4 or 5 owners. So the probability of all 5 owners going insolvent and not being able to pay the electric bill is pretty low.
Yeah.
So if it isn't broke, don't fix it?
I was a few minutes late and I apologise. Robert Latham.
Hi.
Can you just explain the problem we're trying to solve?
Yeah.
When you say someone's insolvent, what do you mean by that?
Okay, years ago, we had 2 people named Aaron that owned the Seabreak, and they tried to take over the bathroom. They said the bathroom was theirs, so we got an attorney and we filed a lawsuit and we recovered the bathroom for the association. But the electricity, and at that time, I put the electricity in Falcon Hangar's account instead of their account. That way, the electricity got paid every month, and there was no possibility of the account not getting paid and the electricity getting shut off and the bathroom plumbing getting frozen.
Right.
Okay, that was fine, but then there was a period of time when the owners of that building weren't paying their electric bill and it got to be a hassle. So we decided that we needed to change, well, I decided as a treasurer that it would be, and the facility manager, that it would be safer for the association to move the service over to a building. Well, no, that's not quite accurate. I decided it would be better to separate the power so that Falcon Hangars paid for the power in our restroom and the owners of the hangar paid for their electricity. Completely separate the accounts. That was very expensive, a lot of wasted money. David came up with the idea of just moving it to a hangar next door that had several owners.
So who pays the electricity now?
The association does.
So I guess I'm not sure of the problem, because if these guys stop paying their rent, then...
No, they own the building, so they could stop paying electricity.
Well, are
on
they
the building?
are they paying electricity on their own? That's what we're asking. Or is
I-
Falcon Hangar still paying all of the electricity, or is it separate bills?
We
For
pay
David's.
the entire account, and then I bill David and Joan their portion.
Right, so
Right.
why don't we just leave it as it is?
And that's
No, if
that's
it
what
isn't
I've been
broke,
arguing for
let's
the
not
last
fix
3
it.
years. This has been coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So if somebody quits paying for that, oh sorry, Ronnie.
no,
I
that's
cut
all
you
right.
off. So if somebody quits paying that building, Falcon Hangars is still paying the electric bill.
Yeah,
So regardless if they quit paying, the bathroom's still going to be paid for.
And
yes
that's,
it is.
I mean, that's in the.
But
So what
there's-
we're paying for is the small insurance that if they forfeit and we run completely out of money, that we can't pay the $40 a month or whatever it's going to be. So
Well, that's not $40 a month.
okay,
isn't the
$100.
problem.
I don't
No.
whatever. It's
We're supposed to be paying around well, no, that's wrong. We're supposed to be paying around $20 a month. For a while, David had a tenant in there that was running the electricity bill up to $250 a month. And we were paying the lion's share of that. The
okay.
association was.
But that sounds like a different problem. So what we're trying to solve, though, is you were saying if somebody becomes insolvent, that we don't lose power to the bathroom,
Yes.
right? And right now it won't happen because we're paying
Okay.
for it for the association, right? Now your next argument is, well, what if the association runs out of money? Okay, so all those circumstances happening are incredibly minute to shell out $1,600 for. That's my argument.
Okay.
So.
Plus, that could happen and anybody doesn't pay.
No, if you have a building where there's several owners, the chance of all of them not paying is much lower problem.
What's the current electricity bill on that building?
Well, the building is vacant right now.
So it's what, $20 a month?
No, facility charge is about 34, 35. You can't get out of that. That's grid access, and then about $5 a month right now because it's
So we'll
vacant.
be alright for 40 months versus $1,600. I'll just...
Yeah, I just think that's a hill we need to climb later if it becomes an issue.
It already had become an issue where we just about went broke. We could not afford to pay for these high bills.
No.
That's why they
However, that
started.
was remedied.
Yeah.
It was, but
And
it could
we did-
reoccur
Well,
again.
We did in fact see
Worst-
to it that was.
Worst case, the
Well,
power goes out. How long is
yeah.
it going to take to pull a permit and get it done? Maybe a week and a half.
I
I got a code to another bathroom we can use in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Not to push that $1,600 out right now when we got apparently some other things we're going to have to pay for.
Well,
Some-
this was already decided and it was approved for the tune of $1,400. So
Of
we're
which-
already into
No, I bet you,
it.
No,
you
we
sent an
were
email,
sure
you
we
said
did.
the email you sent me said 800, but it was going to cost $1,400.
And I'm not sure what we budgeted. I'd have to look at my records, but
Okay.
it's already been approved and a certain amount has been budgeted toward that.
I thought we were just gonna do further research. That's what it was. Is
Actually,
you,
that-
you and Dave were gonna
Yeah,
Do
do
we-
some
that's what I thought,
research
too.
and then
Where
come
it was
back
sitting.
with the real price, and then it would be approved.
No, it was
Let me look
approved
through.
during, you all approved last year's budget and that project was included in there.
How is my electric bill prorated? I'm not limited to the electricity I use, am I?
No,
It's-
Okay, but then if the person next to me doesn't use any electricity and,
it's not fair,
okay.
but it's the best.
Yes, you're right.
Wondered.
What-
They
Okay.
they take the bill for the building and then divide it up amongst the units,
So
But
it's
there's
just-
really no other way to tell. I mean,
unless we get a meter for every
Unless you have,
every
yeah.
unit.
Which
And we
there-
looked into that, and since the buildings are wired in series, you really can't meter
You've got
them.
one panel per building?
Well, actually, there is a solution out there. It's not cheap, but they do build a tenant power meter solution that puts a current transformer on each branch, and then it totals up who did what. We're back to
yeah.
And I was
Spend a
looking
lot of
to
money
a
for
lot
hear,
of
game.
money and permits and junk,
Yeah.
and that's,
Okay.
I don't wanna go there.
and I was looking to the minutes, I can try to listen to the minutes from last year, but it said a motion was made to move the restrooms branch circuit from building D to building E. Motion was carried, but it doesn't have a dollar amount on it.
Yeah, we didn't approve the money.
We didn't approve the money.
Yeah, and I don't remember approving that. I remember you guys talking about it and saying, okay, we'll look into that e-building solution, and that's as far as it went.
Because we had a couple different options we were looking at.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we know now what we're up against with it, so would anyone be opposed to taking a vote? I mean,
Yeah, somebody make a motion and we'll vote on it.
For what amount are we saying?
and that way we can
So, a
say
mo-
one way or the other.
Motion to continue this or to
Table it.
continue research or table it, yeah. So I say I vote to table this for now.
I agree.
I agree.
Agreed.
Okay,
Yeah,
vote, everyone
agreed.
vote, yes, all agreed?
Agreed.
I'll agree too.
Was that everybody? Was that unanimous?
Kathy, what did you
Kathy,
say? I'm
she-
sorry.
Yep, I'll agree.
Okay.
Okay, so that was unanimous.
Great.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
funds that have been allocated already toward this, I'm going to put in the savings account
Perfect.
and hold right there.
Okay, the second one, or the next two, I think maybe we might wanna put together is the B building drainage issue proposal, and, previously, I think back in 2014, $500 was, budgeted for, or approved for fixing the gutters in
Well,
building B.
We talked about the
Right.
gutters last year as well.
As
Yeah,
well, we keep,
I know.
they,
Nothing ever gets
yeah,
done.
the
We just
flooding
keep
is
talking
kind
and
of a
talking
Yes,
and
it
constant
talking.
does.
program.
It does too.
What have we
So-
done on the gutters in the B building?
I met with,
I mean, it doesn't matter if you've
I
met.
met-
What have we actually done to those
there,
gutters?
there is nothing you can do.
I didn't ask that. What has been done to the gutters?
I
Have
met,
they been improved or replaced
Well,
or?
you
It was
can't do
started.
that.
He started working on it. Listen to him, James. Let's
No,
see what he's got to
I know,
say.
but what I'm saying is, have we done anything to it?
Listen to what he has to say and then ask your question, okay?
Okay.
Please? Thank you.
I originally met with Walker Metalworks years ago because we have a gutter problem. He said there's not enough header on the top to change the gutters to where there's a proper slope. We need more downspouts. We don't have any breaks in the doors to put downspouts. This was back in 2005. Brian Walker said, don't touch the gutters because you've got something like, I think he said, a 400-foot expanse of metal that's working with thermal contraction and expansion, and the fact that it's up there and stays is a bloody miracle. So, we left it that way. It's a big problem. I just met with Shay Walter. What's his first name? Well, anyway, of S&M Metals, based on a request from the last annual meeting. He took a look at it. He doesn't know Brian Walker. He had no experience with Brian, but he told me the same thing. There's not enough header room on top for these gutters to have any slope, period. There's just nothing we can do about it.
Okay.
He said he would be happy to take our money, and he will try. But he said he cannot make any change in it. All he would be doing is taking our money.
Well, I think I have kind of a solution here. It's not ideal, you know, but here's kind of a proposal I've got. I don't have that many of these, so I'll just hand a few of these out. I'll do that over here so I can. So I think the biggest issue in talking to a lot of people and talking to some of the airport managers and some other people that have been here for a while, and you can actually even see it in the satellite pictures. It's the flow of water. I mean, the gutters is also an issue, obviously, right?
Yes. So you're not continuing with the gutter. This is drainage.
This is something else.
Yeah, we put both of them together.
Yeah,
or
so
I
this
just
is
said both of them
So
together.
this is drained, but it's kind of tied into
Tied
the
in.
same problem with the B building. So if you look at the second page there's some pictures of the units. So for some of you that don't know what we're talking about, you can see the B buildings up on top. You can actually see some of the sediment that collects there on the west side or on the top of the picture of the B building. And the way the water flows when we get those heavy downpours, and you guys all know this, it just comes straight from the west and the north, and it just hits that building as a stop. And there's the way the asphalt is graded, it collects right there in front of the last 3 units. All right, and you know, and that wouldn't be an issue if it just collected outside, but it goes. There's no way to stop it. It goes in. It goes under the door. It goes through the cracks.
We tried things to get it to stop.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then once it gets into those first 3 units, then it spreads through the rest of the building. Because I've got B3, which is about as far from the flooding as you can get, other than B1, and it gets water in it underneath when we get those heavy downpours.
And B1, I have a serious problem because the downspout is undermining the foundation.
On the backside?
Yep.
Okay.
So where is that at?
That's
the corner
by
of
the
B1.
circuit breakers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've tried to divert it a little bit, but the downspout needs to be at least relocated away from the footing.
Yeah.
Well, does it have an extension on it at all, or is it just the downspout with the corner?
The side of the elevation is eroded so much that the downspout is away from the ground. So
your problem is a little bit separate.
Yeah.
And last annual meeting, this is part of drainage, but $500 was allotted to build up your side there.
Oh,
and you know what? And
so
we
they already knew about
we
it.
Can,
yeah.
You knew about it.
We can
That's all I
incorporate this
wanted.
into. We can incorporate this into this fix too, because I've got some good drainage rocks that we actually have at one of our properties that we were gonna bring out for that trench right there, so we could build it up. And then if we do this fix, we're gonna have to drain into that trench too. And so if we put a bunch of these drainage rocks, you know, these large rocks,
excellent,
then it should help that as well.
So what are you proposing then?
So here's
line and
So if you look at the last page, there's what we propose to do, or what I propose to do, is just run a 12-inch trench from James's hangar. We'll put 2 6-inch pipes in there and bury them, and then re-asphalt everything. And that should, you know, even if we get these, that should, you know, doing some calculations, that should do about 53 at the max, 53 gallons per second. So that even if we do get those crazy downpours and the whole airport's pouring towards our building, you know, it's not going to drain all that at once. But once that downpour stops, it'll drain out real quick before hopefully it gets into that building at all.
So are you going to have access to this drain for each hangar then, like a grate over it, or
yeah,
or where
it's
will
on the
the
last
intake
page right
be?
there. So we've identified kind of the 2 low points.
So you have 2 intakes?
Yeah, 2
So we have
big.
an intake and then it disperses into the ditch.
Yeah.
Now, a question for you: Your gutter, does it have an extension? You have the downspout and then you have the elbow. Does it have an extension on it at all?
It has an extension. It's too short. It needs a longer extension.
To go,
and then it just needs some minor repair just to get her going.
Yeah, because I was going to say something we could do in the meantime is put a longer extension
Exactly.
all the way out to
and
the
I
ditch.
was gonna,
corrugated pipe.
Exactly.
I was thinking about doing it myself. I just didn't want to do anything until I talked to everybody, make sure I'm.
Yes, we've been aware that this is the only fix. We've been aware of that since we started talking about this.
Okay.
I was a floodplain manager,
Oh,
so
okay.
I know all about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is not a surprise. We've known about this.
Yeah.
And
Talking to other people at the airport, like Dave, Elliot, and all them, they said that it was always kind of an issue in this area, in this building.
Mhm.
The way the water flows.
This
at the
is
airport.
called Meadow Lake for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really a drainage nightmare.
Yeah.
The whole thing is.
Yeah.
And everybody can take care of their little piece of it. And this will probably work for that, although I think it's.
Who are you proposing pay for this?
I think, one, we were going to use the $500 that we already talked about for the gutter. I know you've mentioned in the past that you were going to throw $1,000 into it, but this was just informal talk when we bought the hangers. You said that there was drainage problems, and you said you'd pay $1,000. The HOA would pay $1,000, but that's nothing. That's nothing formal.
Try and get HOA to pay for it. It's not my money.
Yeah.
And then I think, did you send me an email that said like 500 for erosion or something?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. That.
That's for that.
Yes.
Okay. And gutters is separate, so that's $1,000 together,
I don't think we
or
put
not?
any money at all in for gutters because I was going to check in. I would not have put money in for gutters. I knew better than that.
Okay. I
I
know
thought
when
we
I
had last year. I thought we did.
well,
we
I
did
think it
allow
was
some.
actually 2014.
Was it 14? Oh, I thought we did
So
it
what
14.
you're trying to say is you want the
So far we-
association to pay for this.
Yeah, I'd like that. That'd be great.
Why?
Because we pay for every other building being maintained.
This
Maintained,
solves a
but
bunch of
this
people's
is-
issues.
Yeah, and
It's
it-
not-
This is a maintenance issue.
And it's also a common area. That whole common area out front there floods.
Do
and
you
it's-
not recall the statement that Kathy Kenny made last year that she gave all of you owners that had flooding problems a substantial discount when you purchased your units?
Yeah, but we were only told one of our units.
So
flooded.
why should the
Not
association
four.
pay? Why should you get a substantial discount, get them well below market value, and then have the association pay for your repairs? That just doesn't seem right to me.
Well,
Improvements, it's
again,
not
it's
really
common
repairs, it's
area.
improvements.
It's a common area issue.
Well, let me say, as someone who purchased B4, which doesn't have the massive flooding issue, but anytime I'm out there and there's a downpour, you can't even park out in front of your hangar. And so I didn't buy a hangar at a discounted rate. I bought one at current market rate that has an issue with the ramp where I'm going to be moving my airplane. And it's a safety issue for people driving or people taxiing. There's a lot of things associated with it. And I don't think, and this is you and I can disagree, I don't think it's an individual issue. If this is an association and there's a problem, if some people were notified that there was a problem and they bought it at a discount, I can't argue that. But I
That's
didn't.
what happened.
I didn't.
Okay.
And I would like to see some improvement in the front of that area. Because it when I'm taxiing an airplane over it, or when I'm doing anything else, the airplanes are leaning sideways. There's just some issues right there that could become an issue
But
for
that's
everybody.
always going to be the case. That slope will not change. The sideways part,
Okay,
the
but
slope
Eric,
isn't
let's
gonna
get back
change.
on point here. The fact is that these folks were given a substantial discount because of these problems.
That's not
That
what,
is-
that's not what you told me. And I talked to Kathy a little bit, but when we bought those hangars, you said that hangar B10 had a small issue that was taken care of because James bought a hangar and he was going to fix the flooding problem. So I was
Right.
not sold a flooding hangar.
And when I purchased my hangar, B12, which I cannot use because it gets this much water every time it rains, I was told it had a little bit of water in it twice that year because it was a 100-year flood.
You were showing the watermarks. They were
No, I showed you the watermarks. I said, Mark, what are those? And you said, well, it's a 100-year flood.
I was
We had some
very
water in it.
honest in
Do
the
you not
and
remember
it
what you said
was.
last year?
And it was 100
It was.
flood.
And that's the only
you
reason
saw
I
the
purchased
watermark,
that.
so why are you surprised?
That was the only reason I purchased that hangar was because my barn at my house flooded twice that year,
Yeah,
and it has not had water in it for or since.
Yeah,
So-
is this James?
Yes, Kathy.
Yeah, I sold you that hanger at $17,000.
No, you're not correct.
17, 18, 19.
You're still
whatever.
not correct.
Whatever.
But anyway.
It was extremely low. It was like more than 50% low. It's less than half the price that I get for the other hangers.
Would you
I
like to
didn't
purchase
do
it
that
back?
because that it was, because it was my best hanger. It was because it had flooding. That's why I
Yes,
sold
and
it at
and
that
and
price.
But
the
he rent another place.
the people
Because
that you had showing the hanger and everything
That would
else
be me.
were properly not informed, I was told last year, because they had no idea how much water it got in it.
Yes, I did. I knew exactly how much.
That's not what you said last year.
I
Mark, last year you
yeah,
got to me and you said I was
That's what I'm saying.
misinformed.
James, you
you-
said I can build this trench right here. I said, James, you'll need to build it for 80 feet for both hangers and run it around.
No, you're incorrect, Mark. I'm the one that came
Okay.
up with that.
Can
I
I
have
make a
another
suggestion?
solution.
Yes.
Can I
Yes,
make a
ma'am.
Yes,
suggestion
both,
here?
yeah,
How
great.
many owners do we have?
Here or total?
Total.
Tom,
Let me see.
No, I mean in total in the units.
In units. Oh,
20?
I'd have to add it.
Oh,
a
in
lot.
that- in that
Oh, in
building?
B building?
No, across the whole. So
The
We have
whole-
30
thing.
units.
Do we have 12?
So the way I read the covenants is that each building is responsible for repairs on their building. This is common area. It's $2,000. 20 people. That's $100 each.
And this has been
Whenever I talk to people about our hanger association, they always say, "Oh, those are the ones that flood." So for $100, we could improve all our hangers
yeah.
and the name
Raise
of all our hangers. And your hanger will be probably still have some issues, but will be way better than it is. So
It'll probably might be what I was
would
expecting instead of what I
propose
got. Yeah.
if we can do drainage work for $2,150, let's get it done.
I would-
It's not-
And you
I
want-
would propose, I'm not opposed to getting it done because that is the only way to fix this problem. You can't Band-Aid it. But I would propose that the people in the B building who will benefit from this pay the lion's share. Because people in A building, even though it's common area, it is the area just right in front of their building. They don't even drive where it floods because the taxiway doesn't flood. So I think, to me, sounds fair that the association pick up part of it because it is common area, but there are definitely people who are benefiting from it much more than anyone else because it does affect the personal value, so they're getting a personal gain. Whereas no one else
There
is
is
getting a personal gain.
precedent set for that too when we re-asphalted
Can
the
I-
B building.
And Ann wanted to say something.
I'm an A9, and none of the flooding had any effect on our hangar at all. But I can see down the road, I mean, we're all in this together. And I'm in agreement with what she's suggesting, that the association, because we're all in this together, should probably pay for some of it.
I think so too.
Because it affects only certain buildings, perhaps the people that own the hangars in those buildings should pay a greater portion than the rest of us. That seems very logical and
Yeah.
fair to me. Because, and the reason I'm saying this is, someday there may be a problem that none of us see now with hangar A. So the people in B may be in the same boat that we're in right now.
Okay.
And that's what was told to some of the owners. I said that I would try and go to the association and see if we couldn't get, I don't think it was 1,000, I think I told James around 1,500.
Okay. So what if we propose this? What if?
Why don't you
Oh,
answer
sorry.
one at a
Were you
time?
gonna-
She keeps trying
Okay. You said one of the problems was they need more downspouts. You said they couldn't put the downspouts in because the doors were butted against each other, and you can't do that. There's no law that says you can't put the downspouts inside the hangar, groove outside, put a groove, 18-inch groove,
Good.
roll it out to the curb and put a grate over it and drive over it, and you've got your problem solved.
Well, that's for the water coming down there. and that would
You're
take care
grooving
of
the
that.
pavement that slopes should take the water away.
Oh, you're saying groove the pavement all the way down to
So
the.
do this
Yes,
and
yes.
the
It's
gutters.
an 18-inch ditch, and groove it,
Yeah.
slide it down and put a.
Yeah, that's kind of
right
what
The
we're
over
flooding
proposing.
problem
with
is
this.
and
caused
stuff, but
by
as
the
far as
pooling.
the downspouts,
Yeah.
there's no reason you can't put them inside the main.
Well, even if
It's so noisy here.
If we
It's
Dang
like an
airplane.
if we take care of the drainage of where the water has a place to go, then the downspout problem really isn't an
Yeah,
issue.
it won't be as big of
It'll
an
still
issue,
be
yeah.
coming down, but it won't be pooling. The problem is it
Well,
pools and has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Well,
So
but
if we
it'll
give it
put the
somewhere
water
to go.
into the
And
groove
then
evenly with more
If you want
downspout.
to go with this, I
it
would
would,
just ask
yeah.
that you put another drainage
Near yours.
grate
Yeah.
sort of out, because
That-
I'm not getting water from that, but I'm getting a tremendous amount of water from splashback from the issues coming down from the gutters.
Yeah.
And I'm completely understand
And-
what you're
yeah.
saying,
Well-
but I'm saying let's not. If we're gonna do something and we're gonna do it right, and you want B building people to pay more for it, then I want it to take care of my problem
Yeah.
as well,
Well, if
not
you
just
give-
the problem.
Well, what I
on
If you
one
give
end.
that water
is-
somewhere to go, you won't have the splashback.
Well, that's what we
I
talk.
mean,
If
it
we can
will
talk
come
about
down
a
and
number
it'll
of
splash.
grates, a number of grates that will take that
Well,
will
no, you-
help take care
How
of it.
about the
Where you at?
people in the B
Four.
building get together and decide what you want to do, what it's going to cost, and make a proposal to the group?
That's what we're doing.
Well,
right
so
now.
here's
Okay.
But
now,
they need, you need to add in the gutters.
a lot of people don't
Or
understand the
whatever.
problem with the gutters. The gutters are undersized. They are just small, normal residential sized gutters.
3-inch, yeah.
Yeah, the downspouts are small residential sized gutters. It doesn't matter what these installers are saying. Their biggest thing is they're after money. We have a gutter up there that would work if it was proper. I don't know if you've noticed, but all the security lights are actually inside the gutters.
That's one of the problems.
You have electricity running through the water, which goes down to the ground, which if wrong time, right situation, somebody could be seriously hurt, killed, whatever because of that, which we
Okay,
will
so you
be
wanna move the
responsible. And that's why the gutters are such a big issue, because we need to get the lights up out of the gutters, we need to get the gutters fixed. And once we do that, that's going to alleviate a bunch
James, you
Why
can
don't
get-
of
you
the
go
problem.
ahead and talk to these
Yeah.
people and figure out a solution, because I've already presented. You say that they want to take our money, but Shay Showalter did not want to take our money. He was trying to be honest with
Yeah.
us when he
Correct.
said that. So why don't you take this yourself, because you're on that side,
Sure.
it's your building.
What
Why don't you figure out how to get it fixed?
I'm trying to tell you. What I'm
But
saying
you
is we already have.
You say move the electrical out of it and then get it fixed.
Yep.
What's the fix that you're talking about?
Well, you're going to have a hole in the gutter once you move the light out of there.
Yeah, but
So they need to be
that's
repaired.
obvious.
The
That's
downspouts
obvious,
need to
but-
be enlarged so that, because that small downspout, I do agree that that is a long span.
Okay,
for
so
that
you
size of
get
gutter.
that bigger downspout, where's that water gonna go?
Hopefully
Same
into this
place.
new drainage ditch.
Okay, that's
Well,
what
the
I'm saying.
downspouts don't
If you
even
take care of where
drain
the
right
water
there.
is going,
We have one on each end of the building.
there.
that
Yeah,
takes
I'll
care of
see
the
Yes, and
problem.
one goes to the north end, which that actually drains.
It's the electrical light
Yeah.
that's
It's the-
sitting in the gutter.
And
that's
the water
causing
comes
all
down
the
through that,
problem.
yes. So we need to fix that
Does that light
problem.
even come on?
And that might be
anymore?
why I lost
Yes.
power.
Yeah. That light still comes
It,
on?
yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been out there at night to see
They
whether
do.
the light comes on.
I've watched that, and yeah, it's kind of scary because I was out there when it was raining one night.
Because the
and
one
you
in
could see the
front of
blue
my
from
V3
electricity.
doesn't come on anymore.
Oh, it doesn't come on anymore.
No, that's
Which
been
one?
out. That's been out forever. In front
V3?
of V3, yeah.
Okay.
So
But-
can we get
so-
this drainage done? Can,
Yeah.
Can
So
I
yeah,
propose that we agree to get the drainage done? That's what we
I
have
would
all
like
day.
that.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think it's a good proposal.
Okay, so proposal, a second, all in favor?
Are we
To
voting
get it
on
done
just
or
what's
to look
sitting
into-
here?
What are
to
we
do
voting
what?
on?
With
We're voting
the
on
picture
to
as
get it
is,
done.
Or
Oh, I'm
Okay.
opposed.
no,
Well,
we'll
first
add
we need to
a,
figure
we'll
out
add a
who's gonna
drain
pay for it.
wherever we, you know.
okay.
Well,
This
that's
is
what they're
kind
gonna
of-
do, they're gonna get
These
it
were
done,
all
they're gonna
estimates,
get the
and it's still
estimate.
kind of.
and
I've
they're
looked
gonna
at a
figure out
lot
what
of
they
different
wanna do.
drains
This
and
is
a lot of
estimate.
different buckets.
Well, this is for
But
this,
I-
but not for the
And
rest of
James
it.
What
and
he's
I-
talking about might help too, because we're getting metal damage
Yeah.
from the water
Yeah.
coming where
Yes.
how it's
So
coming in.
I think with
So I'm
that,
also
we,
getting metal damage right there
Exactly.
also.
so
So
I,
I just want to make sure if we're voting on it, that we're voting on something that we really want to take care of the problems
yeah.
on that side of the building.
I think the immediate, this is the most critical fix, right? All right, and then the thing you're talking about with the gutters is I think something we can just work on. We can just pull those lights out.
Just
you know?
don't call.
Yeah, see, I think you guys are getting confused on
Once
something.
they're gone, they're gone. You know?
I'm not saying.
You said like you were going to fix, like change the gutters. You
Yes,
really,
we do need to change the gutters. Yes.
How?
But not the entire gutter. What you're thinking I'm wanting to replace everything.
Some clarification.
You know,
Well, you said fix the gutters. I mean, normally you fix the holes, but I mean, we've been told by 2 very reputable gutter companies that you can't do anything to the gutters.
is there a gutter on that building already?
Yes.
Okay, then don't you think we might improve that, modify that?
How? What are you going
I
to do
just
to
said
modify it?
we need to pull the lights out of the gutter.
Yeah, do that, but
And
but
then
you're
we need
not.
to fix those holes. And we need to increase the size of the downspouts at least.
Okay,
So I'm not
So
talking
that's-
about
that's a
thousands
pretty
and thousands
inexpensive-
of
yeah,
them.
that's-
but you're talking about changing the gutters,
Yes.
fixing the gutters, and
That's-
and
So
the
let's
gutters
start
are
with
what
that,
they
and that's
are.
something that's
I
going to
didn't
cost
say
us. That's going to
replace.
cost us
Okay.
almost nothing.
Well,
I
gut-
think
We'll
that's
pull the
where
lights
you're
out
getting
ourselves.
confused.
We'll get the.
No,
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is
Time
official,
out.
Okay, I
but
must
from,
be.
from 2014, it says B building gutters. It doesn't say that it was voted on, but it said Mark Robinson can approve up to $500 repair
funding.
funding. It's a
the
repair.
gutters.
It's not a. It's
Yes,
not
and that's
a
what
new
I'm saying.
whatever. It's a repair. We had that back from 2014.
And we had it again last year. We've been over this many times, but the project is
So-
never finished.
So we need
Do
to.
you want to
incorporate
start
that
with the
this.
gutter?
Now, don't we
I
have
don't know much of
replacement
this stuff. Do you want to
lights?
start with the gutters
sorry?
and then do
Put up
this, or
Doing what?
what?
Yeah.
Don't we have the replacement LED lights to put up there?
Yes, and I provided posts to get them up out of the gutters
Okay.
as well. Yes.
Whatever happened to that?
I don't know. I gave those to you.
I thought you said LEDs were not allowed on the outside of the building.
No, without an electrician.
Changing over.
Yeah, it's that we
But
can't
I
do it
know
ourselves.
we're talking about putting LEDs back in, and
Yeah.
replacing,
I say we take out that light
and leave it.
and leave it out.
All right.
You
Which
know, and
ones?
then at a later date, if we want to pay for an electrician to come out and put a new light in, we'll do that.
Well-
but for now,
We already have the lights and we already have the pedestals.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but it has
All
to
right.
be approved.
It has to
So
be
your
approved.
proposal
by,
is
by an
But-
electrician.
Right?
Put in
Isn't
pedestals.
that the
but-
issue?
but-
I don't want to do anything that isn't.
I'm less
gonna-
worried about the light and more worried
Yeah.
about the water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
causing
dangerous.
metal damage.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
causing other issues.
So let's
Well,
take care
and we
of
did
that.
already approve the LEDs to be installed.
Yeah, we already have them, but the
With-
problem with that is that, you know, like Mark said, if the electrician comes out, sees
Well,
different
here-
lights out there.
Maybe I'm wrong or something, but what if we just put them up?
Yeah. Okay.
And then if we end up with a problem like we did before, then
Doesn't
we
make
can
it take
address it. Because what did it cost to have them come out and inspect it?
$200.
Okay, so it'd be an inspection
It's
after
probably
we do
cheaper.
it. We can
Yeah.
ask for
Yeah, ask
It's
we
for
can
probably
ask for
cheaper
forgiveness
than
instead of permission.
Having a,
Okay.
I
so
mean, I
that's-
hate to say
okay.
that, but
All right.
Okay, so that's
I think that's
there's
a wonderful
that would save us all some money.
all right. So that's a separate issue. So let's just
Yeah,
cover
let's
the
take care
drainage.
of the gutters
Okay.
and the light issue separate from the drainage,
So
because
we'll
they are
take-
two very
so
different
the
things.
so the gutter's already been approved for $500
Yes.
for repairs.
I haven't voted on it. I haven't heard what the motion was.
Oh, we haven't.
We haven't made
We
a
haven't made
motion.
one. Yeah.
No, this was previously from 2014. We had
Okay.
approved $500 for repairs.
I don't think so.
It's,
Well,
Yeah, it's in
I'll
the
show you.
minutes.
It,
It was in the minutes.
Yeah.
it was in the minutes, and we approved the minutes.
So
Okay, it was saying that Mark can approve
Approve,
that,
up
not
to
that it had
500.
been approved to do.
Right, but
No,
he
there's
has it.
nothing been approved.
Okay, well,
Well, can
And
we
I'm no
motion to
longer-
approve it then?
So you still
And I
not
can no
wanting that?
longer approve it because I'm not the facility manager. So that went away.
But you're but you were you were only since I've been here. You were only a facility manager for like
For
a
a
year
year.
and a half, maybe
I've
a
been
year.
facility manager since 2004.
Well, not when we were kids.
active. He's
But I
been
mean, he might
active.
have been doing. You might have been doing the work, but you're also the treasurer, so you also approve money. So
Oh no.
okay,
No,
all right. So
I don't
like-
approve money. It's not my money to approve.
This is another
I
separate issue.
pay
Okay.
Yeah,
bills
all right, so
based
let's
We'll figure out all
on
the
board's
procedures.
approval.
yeah.
shortly. So,
All right.
what do we want to make a motion to repair the gutters? Can
We'll
somebody
incorporate it into this. Okay, so
Okay.
the
Incorporate
gutter
it into
the
gutters
gutter,
and drainage.
gutter and drainage, and the gutters right now are going to be for what we want to do is going to be pretty inexpensive. Like you and us three can probably work on most
On
of
the
that
gutters?
ourselves. We just have
The
to
gutter
do it.
issue. Yeah, I mean, and that's I'm not saying spend thousands on it.
Okay.
It does need to be repaired.
I make a
What?
proposal that the board or the membership not have to pay any more than 25% of the total cost of this gutter repair
I like-
drainage.
to get one thing clarified, what is it we're doing with the gutters here? I just want to get this
Taking
on
the
record.
lights out,
So we're-
sealing the
So
hole.
Exactly.
lights, okay, power, so move the
And-
power out of the gutters,
Move the lights out of the gutters and get larger downspouts.
larger down.
And
And then repairing
and also the
holes.
diversions. We need to get some kind of diversion for your end and for his end.
Not really for mine.
Okay, so
Because it exits.
I
Well,
think-
it doesn't even drain.
yeah.
It's not even
Well, I think
working.
it's excellent to get the lights out of the gutters and patch the holes.
Yes.
That's a really good thing, and I agree that the lights ought to be put up with the pedestal even without a permit.
Yes.
I don't think putting in oversized downspouts is gonna help based on what I've been told by Walker Metal Works and S&M Welding. So I would approve a part of that, but I don't think we should waste our money on oversized downspouts until you have experts get out there and give their
And again, the
opinions.
downspout. How much would a big downspout cost? $20.
More than what
Yeah.
you think.
$20.
Can I have someone who will like take charge? Like I know we have lots of people working on it, but one person to volunteer to be like in charge
Project manager.
of project manager
Of
of the gutters.
Of the gutters?
Or
Well, it's going to
isn't
be
that what
probably
you're
you
gonna
and me.
start
It's
first?
probably going to be one of us three or all of us
I'm
three
out
that's going
till
to be
October right now, so I'm
doing the
trying-
work. So it's probably going to just be down to you or me running,
Okay.
like always.
Okay,
So-
do you want to be co-managers, or does
Yeah,
one
so
person
we'll be-
want
we'll
to
work
be in
together, we'll work
charge?
together.
Mark, are the lights only in the gutters in the B building?
Yep.
Why was that done? Or who?
Because I didn't
Installation
have
issue.
access, and James did not
I
have
just
access.
get this.
Oh, you're saying that?
This is my feeling of this whole thing so far. It's like the rest of the association against the people in B building.
Yes.
And I don't really care whether some of the units were sold at a discount or not. It's still an association, and we're all still part of the same thing.
Right.
And you're pushing back to say I only want 25% of association money paid for it. Well, like I'm saying, I paid market share, a reasonable price
You
for
did.
my hangar.
They did not.
All right, but I'm still in the B unit, and there's a building that has a problem. There's an electrical code problem. There's anyone that ever put electrical lights in a gutter, you can kill somebody, exactly like he says. And so it's frustrating from a new person coming in here to see why it's everybody versus the B building. If you guys had these problems,
It's not everybody.
you wouldn't be
versus
sitting
everybody.
across the table and saying,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not taking care of your problem.
It's-
You knew you had an issue. Well,
Okay.
I've got no covers. The lights in my hangar were changed inside, and I've got no lights on those covers. And apparently that's a violation because there's supposed to be some covers covering all those wires in there, right?
Yep.
All right. I've got the water issue with that light sitting right over it, and now it's damaging the metal and it's causing water issues along with everything else. What I'm saying is it's not right for the association to turn around and say, you guys are on your own because you have a subpar building. That's really kind of a bad way to sit across from the table with
Well, and
I can shed some light on that, and that is because at one time Kathy owned B building, or most of it. And where any improvements were being made, it was decided that one person could not benefit, that the association could not benefit, would not pay to benefit one owner.
Government say.
So it's like we would not pay to cover Charlie's problem. Why should we pay to cover any individual's problem that was there when they bought the building?
But he didn't know, back to the septic, he didn't know that was a problem when he bought
No,
it.
he didn't know, but
So
he
that's
still,
kinda not his fault.
and still, the association is not paying for it. Even though it was not his problem, the association is still not paying for it. Now, why should the association pay for this when it was?
because Charlie is
I'm going to
volunteering
answer
pay
your
for that.
question.
Well, I'm not sure if I have
Why
no
should
problem
the
paying for it.
association
but-
pay? Because it is an association.
Right, and I agree with
It's
you.
not a whole bunch of individuals.
Yeah.
It is an association.
Mm-hmm.
You're not alone. I'm in Building A, and I'm on your side.
I agree.
To a point. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah.
unlimited, but this is an association. It is a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And what somebody paid for their individual hangars is irrelevant, totally irrelevant in my mind.
Well, not
I
to this
disagree
problem
with you
because
I agree
for
that
years.
Eric has a problem. He did pay market value. But when somebody's given a substantial discount because of a problem and then turn around and have the association pay for that, that's wrong.
So you're
And that's why I think
And
but to your point that it is an
They're talking to you,
association, I think the association should
Yeah, I got
pay
that.
a part of the improvement, because it is an improvement.
Um,
But the owners who got that discount are having their property improved. Nobody's improving my property.
We have been for years.
Yes, they are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, they are, because if this association says to any individual in the group, you're on your own, folks, that's tough shit. If that's the personality of this group, then it devalues every hanger in the group.
I agree.
And
But when there's a problem with certain hangers not affecting all the hangers, and that fixing that problem will benefit just those owners, I really don't begrudge them that. But how to put this? Everyone seemed to not want to pay to have mowing done, because some people don't think it's worth it. Okay, I think it's worth it. Now, we're not getting our way on that, but when it comes to someone else benefiting from us paying something, why should we have to pay for someone else to benefit? And let me preface that with saying I believe the association should pay part of the upgrade. But I think the lion's share should be paid by the people who are going to benefit financially from it.
Okay, so
What
let me
sort of
change the
split?
proposal a little bit then, and let's see if we can split this. What if B building, if we get the full amount, B building pays for half of it, the association pays for the other half.
Then I propose we should do it for
Split it
Charlie as well.
50-50?
I'll second that.
Yeah, I can.
Well,
Yeah,
Is that okay with you? That's
I can go with that.
Yeah,
Can
I mean,
I
I'm not-
make a
we're gonna eat it,
50-50
but that's fine.
yeah.
Can I make a suggestion? The association pays for all the drainage repairs because it's on a common area, and then the building specific changes such as the lights, the B building owners pay.
I like that. I'll second
Because
that.
that's what our covenants
It's-
say.
it's
The
the-
covenants
It does
are
the-
per building.
Yeah.
I
It does say
I-
that.
I paid a lot of money for my hangers. I paid full market value. You
No,
paid
it was
full
the other way
market
around.
value.
It was lights.
But
are
the drainage,
100%
he's right, the
B,
drainage
lights
is on
are
common
100%
area,
common.
on common ground.
But it's not
Okay.
where anyone
Lights-
else would
lights
drive.
and
Just
back
like
gutters.
Charlie's parking problem is not where anyone else would park.
We're arguing about
I feel
we
we're
should cover
arguing about
Charlie's, but
$100.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
think we
That's
should.
just-
Personally.
Yeah.
We've taken care
I
of
agree.
Charlie's problem.
We're an association. Let's, for $100 each, let's get the C-built drainage sorted out. If they want to do something with the lights,
You're
let them
talking
do
to people who didn't want to share
Well,
$50
But
every month to get. I mean, they didn't want to put $5 in each for mowing.
well,
If you're
I'm
gonna
not
get them
sure.
to pay
I'm not really
$100.
concerned about. We're association.
Yeah.
I want to improve the name of this association. I think Bud and I are in agreement. Let's just get it sorted out. I mean, we spent 40 minutes arguing
Yeah,
about.
I know,
$100.
and this has been an issue since I think the 2004.
2005. Well, I had it
2005?
from 2005 to
We've
2006.
been talking about this, so
Well,
just
it's
the
been-
time we've spent talking about this over the years.
And they did spend, and I might have misinterpreted it, but it looked like in 2006 they already spent $12,577.60 on it. On the asphalt.
I'm putting new asphalt in?
But we're talking about
Yeah.
the drainage
Well-
problem.
Oh, but it said something
It
about
was-
drainage.
it was
It was
to
in
fix the
referring to
drainage.
drainage. That's what it said. I don't know. I'm just
And
reading
you-
the minutes with
you
no
brought up a good
background, so I don't
point.
know.
Yeah.
What about
That wasn't for fixing the
pooling
drainage
water?
problem.
Oh,
If it's
That
going
was
to rust
said in
out
there.
the metal, who's
It may have mentioned
responsible for
drainage,
that
but
at
that
that
wasn't.
point?
Yeah, yeah.
And
'cause
then we
that's-
got a major expense, and we're going to have to pick it up.
I like Rodin's
We
idea, and I
spent
think it was
about
really.
20,000 on asphalt because people were dumping oil on the asphalt on the B taxiway there, and Mel Castle had just repaired his airplane, and he was going to cut out a section in front of his and re-asphalt it, and the asphalt people said, don't do that because it'll start leaking at the seams. So we had the whole damn thing dug up and re-asphalted, And the people in the B building on the west side paid the lion's share of it. And the association, I think, paid a small portion.
Well, then who was in charge of that? Because that was the biggest problem there, because whoever graded that graded it incorrectly.
I was, and they told
And
me
you
that
can't,
they did the
by the
best
time
that
I got
they
to, you
could.
can't regrade it.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's go back to
When you
Well-
when you put asphalt in to begin with, you start with the grader and you grade the
Oh,
dirt
yeah,
first.
but when they took the asphalt off, there was no regrading. You
No,
can't
there
regrade
There
it
should have been.
now.
I know there should have been to
You- but
begin
you-
with.
Okay, well, I
To
think,
begin with, but you
Yeah.
gotta understand, these, okay,
Alright.
the property was
he made a
first
proposal.
made
Who's that? Hang on.
as,
well,
Who is?
I mean, I guess she can, but I think he made a proposal and we never did it.
Okay, what was
Correct?
We got-
Didn't you
yeah,
make a
let's-
proposal, right?
Yes.
We got a motion here
Okay.
to, okay, patch the gutters, get the light electrical service out of the gutters. 100% B unit, is that right?
Well, if we
B
decide that,
owners.
that's if we decide that the trenching and the common area water issue.
Okay, this is
Wait,
the only
wait.
part.
Yeah.
Now then, number two.
Let's stop right there, just a minute.
Just a
Wait a
minute.
minute.
I'm just looking at the proposal right now. Larger downspouts is part of this proposal, is that right?
Is part of the B building only. Yeah.
Can
B
you pull
unit
that
only,
out
and who
there?
pays for
Wait.
that?
The downspouts?
The downspouts.
The downspouts, the lights, and the gutters would be B building only. That
B
was
building
what he
only.
Alright.
proposed.
Okay,
So
so
that's
is that-
all 100% B unit owners.
Okay, for gutters and lights, and so we had a proposal, and do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, a vote, all in favor?
I'm not finished with the
I
discussion
don't know
yet.
what the
Oh.
proposal is. I
Yeah.
couldn't understand what the proposal was.
What I've been trying to say, Dave, if you pull out the downspouts and just make a proposal to replace the lights, it won't cost a penny.
how's that?
We already have the lights, we have the brackets. If
Well-
somebody gets up there and replaces them,
Alright.
it's a done deal.
I
The
guess,
person that turned us into the inspector is gone.
okay,
Do we know who did that?
Not absolutely, but I'm pretty
Think about
goddamn
it.
sure.
Well, okay, I'll be honest.
Someone targeting Mark?
I get phone calls and texts every week of activity being done
well, this was someone
on our units. So
targeting.
nobody can do anything to them without
This is
somebody
someone
letting me know.
targeting Mark. Now, who do you think that would be?
Okay, so let's finish this here.
And what are we proposing?
Okay, so we're
They're tied together, these.
Yeah, there's like two
amendments.
proposals that are tied together. One is that the association take care of the drainage trench in the common areas, and then
Okay.
any water issues directly related to the building, such as the gutters, the downspouts, the lights in the gutters, will be the cost will be incurred by B building owners only.
Well, and I just want to add one thing. It's kind of like you guys are saying. We're an association.
Well, he said it
Someday-
almost. He said it almost best. He goes, "This
He did.
association has a bad reputation
Yeah.
on this airport."
For
And I mean, I
flooding.
realize that it's been a tough couple of years,
It has
but
a
we've got some
reputation
we
for
got
flooding
some
on
new
the-
owners. All right, we got some new owners and new stuff. We should be working together to make that a place where the property values go up.
Yes.
And even if their property values go up because of this, your property values go up too. I mean, I know
No,
it's
they
hard
don't.
to see that way.
We don't. And then
If rents and overall hangar sales go up, we're all going to benefit from it. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
people already
this is
know
like
that-
Washington D.C. And I mean, I get it. You're on the left and you can't see the right. You're on the
Okay,
right,
who's
you can't see the
Trump?
well,
left.
and eventually every
But-
building is going to need something.
Yeah, that's my thought is
Yes.
eventually every building's going to need
And then
something.
we're going to be there because
And I'm going to come back and say, you're right. We're
There
an
has-
association.
there has been a lot of things being neglected. The B building, a lot. You know, a lot of the other buildings have been
Well,
maintained in.
The dues are very reasonable.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't know, if you are going to come out here and fuss over 25 or 30 bucks, then you probably shouldn't have a hangar out here anyway.
Right.
That's my thought.
Yeah,
But
well.
I'm, like you said, let's make this a group that works.
We're all in here together, in it
I
together.
propose,
And I know we're not always going to
We
agree.
already have proposals, too many, there's not many.
well, then I will second, is it Ronan's proposal that they pay for half? B building, who was it proposed that B building pay for half, the association pay for the other half of the drainage problem?
Dave, what proposals do you have?
I think on the table he said that the B building would
It's not
split the
voted.
gutters and all the lights, and that the association would pick up the drainage. That's what I think was on the
Let's
So
table.
that's what I've got here, is 100% on the drainage, 100% association.
Because it,
On the gutters and lights, it's 100% B unit owners.
Okay, and I think
And larger
And that
downspouts,
I think
100%.
your motion, he second, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all in favor.
Would you read
Aye.
the proposal again?
Take this once more.
Right.
I just,
Okay.
I'm really
Kathy
having
wants-
a hard time.
Kathy wants to hear it too.
Can we put Kathy over by David, please?
All right, here's what I got.
Here you go.
Move the lights
Out.
out of the gutters, basically, in the mounting and power wiring. Replace the holes in the gutters. Larger downspouts. And by the way, it's 100% the previous. Move the power and patch the gutters. 100% B unit owners. Larger downspouts. 100% B unit owners. Drainage trench. 100% association.
And we already earmarked $500 towards the gutters, which is going to be cleared out. So we won't be using that $500.
So 500 is
Goes away.
Goes away. That's
Goes
gone.
away. So we don't
Well,
have
never
to
just
use.
You're
goes away.
assuming there is 500 toward gutters.
Well, that's what the 2014.
No, wait.
I'm not sure that at all.
You're saying that, okay,
We
that
just said
the,
it
that the
goes
B
in
building
waves.
owners
Yeah.
So it
should
doesn't
take
matter.
care of the gutters,
The
but
gutters.
then 500 of the gutters is coming from the association?
No,
No,
Or has been?
No, we're-
It's going into the savings that he was
We're
talking about.
striking that
Oh,
out.
okay.
We're striking out that $500, so it
That
won't be an
sounds
issue.
better.
Yes.
Can I just say something? If we're gonna fix all the drainage by the B buildings, what about the building that the flats have up in the E building? Because they have drainage problems too. So are we gonna fix that too?
We want to.
At the moment, our renter isn't complaining, so.
I got a.
So if your renter
And
complains,
he's
then
been
we have to
there.
fix
Well,
it?
he's been there for like a couple years at
Could we-
least.
Can we
2 or
just
3 years.
out of this
But
discussion
if they
right now?
start to complain, we should fix it as an association.
Can we just do one? I'm
Yeah.
assuming-
Let's get-
I'm
That's a
assuming-
separate
Let's
issue.
get this
No, we
out.
don't have an issue
Can
right
we
now.
vote
with
on the
that.
motions that
Yeah,
were
we've
done and
had
seconded?
conversations about grass, oil, asphalt. There's
Yeah.
a great proposal
Good
here. Can we
gosh,
just?
y'all.
I can't
Yeah.
cope with
Okay.
And I know everybody has a different number of votes.
Question.
Yeah.
I have a question just because I want to understand.
It's
We're
proportional.
in E, we pay top dollar, and we're in E building. Are we gonna be getting a bill? The owners are gonna get, am I understanding it correctly, that the owners are gonna get a bill from in the E building?
We're in Echo unit.
B, sorry, B,
Bravo
I'm
unit
in
B.
B. I'm in B1.
Okay, again, here's.
Am I gonna get like this hefty bill all of a sudden because I
No.
gotta
No.
fix
It's gonna
all this
be,
stuff?
we're talking, I think, $500 max.
For the drain, for the gutters.
For the gutters
Because
and
I
the
just wanna
lights.
know what
Yeah.
we're
What
gonna
they
be
expect.
Out of
paying
10
and not
units,
get
that would be
slapped with a
50.
huge bill.
And it's
That would
split by, I
be
think,
50
12
50
units,
bucks a
right?
piece.
Yeah,
12 units.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Why
maybe
don't we
40
put a
bucks.
limit on the amount of money right
Yeah.
now, in case it's a big surprise and people
Yeah.
say, well, I didn't
That's
step
a good
on it."
idea.
Well, that's kind of, if we just go by the proposal here.
She hasn't seen the proposal, she doesn't know.
oh,
what you're
yeah.
talking
Oh,
about.
sorry, I forgot to send. Do you want me to snap here? I'll send it on my phone.
Yeah, so if we go, by the proposal, it'd be 2,100 for the association, or 2,150 for the association, then we'll cap us out at 500 for the B building.
Well, you're
Exactly.
subtracting 500, that's not really
Excuse me,
there. so-
2,100 for the
But that's the B
association
building only.
to
What-
pay for the drainage, is that what?
That's
you're
correct. To
missing?
trench out there and put in the drains and the piping and all that stuff, and then
Okay.
that culvert behind the B building as well. We'll fill in some rocks in
Okay.
there.
Yeah, and so how much does that add up to for each person then?
Yeah, how many would
There's
this
12
total
units.
be divided by if the association pays
Well,
for
you
it?
just divide it by 12 and then.
No,
the
the
association's
association's like 30.
Oh,
Oh.
So
Yeah.
by 30.
So it's about $75 or something.
Each month?
Because some people have more than one
What's
unit.
that, Kathy?
And I understand that's more money.
They don't
Hold on,
have.
I get it.
I didn't hear. What'd you say, Kathy?
Yeah, but there's a lot.
I know, but that's why he gets more votes, and I.
In total,
Mark doesn't have any
per
units.
unit.
We're
Yeah.
at 6
B.
units and not one of them, 7 units, not one of them.
Hold on, there's an airplane. We can't hear you, Kathy.
But
Now, see,
By the improvement.
but they'll
of
pay
the-
7/30ths of whatever it is.
Okay.
I get.
I
We're
will-
talking about
I will-
$75 a unit.
What's that, Kathy? I'm sorry.
It's more money. I get.
He
I'll
was-
vote for that.
Okay, so Kathy's
Absolutely
in.
not.
Kathy gave a yay.
Okay, so I guess since it's proportional, I'll have to take this down. And okay, so Kathy gave a yay. Okay, let's just go.
Okay, so yay, association pays $21.50 max, and building B pays $500 max for the gutters and other repairs.
Okay,
Yay.
so we're
That's
a
the
yes.
proposal.
David?
So we're a yes.
Wait a minute. The building B pays 500 max?
Max. It won't be that much. It's
gutters.
James and I. No. For
the
in
gutters.
addition, that's a separate.
In
That's a
addition.
separate issue. We said anything associated directly with the building and not the common areas, such as the gutters, the lights in the gutters, and the downspouts. The B building tenants will be responsible for that. We've just said we're not going to go over $500, and I imagine it'll be far less than that. And it'll be between, James and I mostly will do all that work, all the labor ourselves.
I think Kathy should
And
reach
that will
it
take
and
the
having to
lights-
pay
the lights
anything on
out.
the drainage.
Yeah, that'll take the lights out, and we'll probably, like James said, we'll probably install the existing lights that we already have when we get a chance. But that's not part of this proposal.
Okay. And who's speaking?
This is Ronan.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Joan, and I propose that Kathy not be obligated to pay anything toward the drainage because she has already taken a financial hit when she sold the hangars that are affected by this drainage.
I'm fine with that too.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Okay, Kathy. So yeah, you're out of the B building. The B building
Whatever.
payments. It's going to be what, $50? Who cares? Yeah. Good. You guys all right with it?
Okay, so David and Joan?
All right. So we got a yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Yes. Okay, look,
Yay.
I'm sorry, let me get them all
Yay.
in. Unless
All right.
somebody says no.
Okay,
Does
everybody
anyone
said
say
yes
no?
so far. We've
No,
got,
I did not vote.
yeah,
Okay.
so, no, except
Mark
for you
votes
two.
for us, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nay.
Nay.
Okay.
So one nay.
so
2 nays. Also
nays.
vote for
Jeff.
Jeff
Okay.
Okay, so,
McCard.
alright, I'm gonna have,
Going.
this'll take me a while
Oh, and
to
we've
add
got
all
we've
these.
got the proxy for Charlie.
For
too,
Charlie.
right?
Okay, I've got
Okay.
the ability to put
So
this
everybody
all on a
said
spreadsheet.
yes,
Right.
except
So
for Mark?
if it's close,
Is that correct?
are you going to follow the bylaws on the voting?
I'm doing the proportional right now.
Which is
I'm-
what?
I'm
One
set-
vote for every 100 feet?
I took it from the declarations that says what percentage each person has.
All right.
And so
From the
Okay.
last page, and I fixed PJ's and James.
The declaration.
it's not going to be close. So
Okay.
just run the
Okay.
numbers.
So-
I've got a spreadsheet set up here to
Okay.
do the proportion by feet.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So we're good.
Just give me
you wanna
the,
put-
what we got here by votes.
Okay, so Mark is no. He has a 21.63%. And Jeff is no. He has a 2.73%. Kathy's a yes, 864. We're a yes, 1101. James is yes, 5.33. David is yes, 8.54. Charlie is yes, 8.45. Robert is yes, 2.73. Bud is yes, 3.2. Sarah is yes, 3.48. Hall is yes, 2.55.
And you got Charlie, right? Yeah.
And I got Charlie, yep.
Yeah, that kid's it.
So,
Yeah.
approved?
Approved.
Okay.
I'll double check it when I get home.
Yeah, let's
but
double check it.
We'll
It's
double
like a
check it.
70%.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so that motion passed. In that vein, I would probably bring up Charlie's again and motion that we also pay for his.
The
Anyone want a
situation
second?
with Charlie,
The septic,
Okay.
under,
Oh my goodness.
less than
Charlie's
$500.
situation has been dealt with by the association.
Yeah. Let's just leave
I'm
Charlie.
sorry.
Let's leave that alone.
That's a separate, we got this done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just leave Charlie for now. He said he would take responsibility for it, so we'll just talk
Well, and
to
if he
him
does,
about
that's
it.
nothing we have.
Yeah, there's no cost associated with us, and, and he'll do whatever he deems necessary to protect that tank. So,
Right.
Um,
I've had one that's been being driven on for 30 years. It's never
Yeah.
collapsed.
let's, I guess,
Not to say it won't.
Yeah.
But
Moving through here, so
sorry.
that's,
Alright, next.
I have been. Yeah.
Okay, oops, I lost my agenda, hold
Is
on.
it plastic or is it concrete?
Well, I've been writing.
It's concrete.
so it's drainage, gutters.
Okay.
And it's only a foot down, and there's like
Okay,
that much
and
asphalt
Ronan
over it.
and
There's
James
no-
are gonna
Yes.
head it up, talking with
That's in
everybody.
the notes here.
Okay, it's in there,
Go
okay.
out. Storms.
And we've dealt with,
The one that
we've
went right
dealt
over
with
has
the,
nothing over it. It's dirt.
about
Salt.
septic cover, that's done.
Okay.